In this video, we are going to be looking at 10 mistakes DevOps and Cloud Engineer makes on their CV or on their resume that is costing them a lot, and also how to avoid these mistakes at all cost. So, the first mistake we are going to see that DevOps and Cloud Engineer makes is that they use a generic CV for every job application. When you talk about a generic CV is a CV that contains general information about someone. The informations that are found on a generic CV, they are not specific. They are very broad. They just contains all sort of information about someone. It doesn't target a particular thing. It doesn't target a particular position. So that information, they are generic. They are not specific to a particular role or to a particular position. And when you take that CV and you submit it to a recruiter, when they take that CV, they will not actually be able to see the various qualities that are in you that matches this particular job that they are looking for. Because whenever there is a particular job position, that means there is a vacancy in a particular company that they need a professional to be able to come and fill that particular vacancy. There is a particular problem that they are facing somewhere. They need somebody who is skillful enough to be able to come and fill that particular position. And what is happening is that for every problem, there is a solution. At times, the recruiters already know the solution that they want, and they are just looking for somebody that is capable of rendering that particular solution to them. That is why whenever there is a particular job, there is always a job description. What is the job description? It is only describing the ideal profile of the person that can actually fit that particular position, or that can actually bring a solution to the problem that they are facing. Now, when you want to apply for a particular job, what you actually have to do is that you have to bring yourself in front of the recruiters or the hiring personnel as the person who is fitted in every possible way, or in most possible way, to be able to enter that particular position, to fit that particular vacancy that they are having. That you are the ideal person that they need in order for them to be able to solve that particular problem they are having in their organization, or they are having with their team. But now, when you submit a generic CV, you will not be able to position yourself or to show yourself to these people in the perfect way that is needed for you to be able to gain their confidence, and also for you to be able to prove that you can actually solve the problem that they are presenting to you. That is why when you use a generic CV that contains general information that are not targeted or that are not specific, you are costing yourself a lot of opportunities. You are doing yourself a lot of hurt. And one thing that you have to be sure is that whenever recruiters take a particular CV that is generic, they can easily spot it, and it tells them that you are not serious or you are not strategic about the role, right? So you have to be very, very careful whenever you are making your CV. Do not use generic CV to be able to apply for job. One also mistake that people do that cost them a lot is that they use one CV for every application they are making, whether it's for a DevSecOps role, it's for a DevOps role, it's for a cloud solution architect role, whatsoever role that they see, they have one CV that they use it for every job that they see, whether it's in Azure, whether it's in AWS, whatsoever cloud role, whatsoever role. As far as they have seen a particular title that fit them there, they will just take one CV and they send it there. When you do like this, you are hurting yourself. When you do like this, you are committing an error that is going to backfire against you, right? Be very strategic whenever you are applying for a job. Do not use a generic CV. Use a CV that is tailored for a particular role. Every CV that you are using should be targeted for a particular role. Let me say this. Let's say you are a DevOps engineer, you are also a solution architect, and then now at a particular moment you want to apply for a job that is targeted. A particular company bring up a particular vacancy that we are hiring a DevOps engineer, and then now on what they are going to do is that they are going to put a job description, and when they put this job description, what is going to happen is that you have to scan through the job description. You have to look at what they want. What is the profile of the ideal DevOps engineer that they want, right? They are going to give the profile or the description based on the problem that they are facing and based on the vacancy that they want to fit in their organization. Not every organization have the same problem. Not every organization need the same person. Even though they want DevOps engineer, that DevOps engineer, when you are going to go in the company, you will not be doing the same thing. You may be, for example, they want a DevOps engineer because they have some deployment issue, they have some containerization and orchestration issue. They will need somebody to be able to fit that. What is going to happen is that they are going to bring up the role. It might be general in nature, but they have some problem that they want. So what is going to happen is that in that particular role, you'll be working mostly with Kubernetes, you'll be working mostly with Docker for containerization and container orchestration. But in another company, they will need a DevOps engineer, but now they will want that person to work mostly on their pipeline, right? Maybe they want the person to help them create pipeline, and that is going to help them easily deploy their application. So at different level or at different organization, they are going to have different need. And when you are somebody that you do not really take time to go through the job description that they have put to be able to send your CV, which is tailored to that particular role, what is going to happen is that you are going to send a generic CV which will not be solving their problem, and they are not also going to get back to you, right? So that is why you have to be very keen and very careful about this. Do not use a generic CV when you are applying for job. Always use a tailored CV or a targeted CV that highlight the most relevant experiences, skills and achievement that you have that align with the job description, right? This is very important, and one way to help you do that is that you can use keyword from the job post to pass applicant tracking system, and we are going to look at this as we are going forward in our video. So the second mistake that DevOps and cloud engineer does that is costing them a lot is that they ignore ATS optimization when they are applying for jobs or when they are creating their CV. And this is also most of the time, this is as a result of using generic CV. Whenever a particular company brings out a particular role or a particular vacancy that they need to fill or a particular job description, they will always put there, we need somebody that have these skills, we need somebody that can do this. Most of those things contains keyword that you can use. They will say we need somebody with strong experience in this particular field, somebody that is highly versatile with this particular tool, somebody that have these particular skills or this particular regulation. You must be able to work with this tool, you must feel comfortable working with this thing. So all those things are keywords that they are giving, and whenever you are going to submit your application, they are going to use ATS. What is ATS? ATS stands for applicant tracking system. It is just a system that organization or hiring organization uses to be able to select people that select people based on the information that is found on their CV. Let me explain it to you in this simple way. Let's say I am a hiring manager. I want to hire a DevOps engineer, and in that DevOps engineer there are certain key things that I want a DevOps engineer is going to do. So I'm going to take a particular system that is called the ATS system. I'm going to tell that system that I'm looking for an engineer that have this particular thing and this particular keyword. Maybe that person have to be very proficient in Kubernetes, very proficient in Docker and in many other tools. And now what is going to happen is that you highlight some set of keywords that you want to see in the ideal person that you are looking for. So when you bring out your job and then you open the opportunity, people are going to apply. When people apply now, what you are going to do is that you will take their CV and pass into that system. That system is going to scan the various CV for the keywords that you have set. Every person that have CV that matches maybe 60% or 50% of the various keywords that you have said, that those people's CV are going to be automatically selected. People that have key CV that does not maybe matches 80% of the keyword that is standard for you that you are looking for, those CV are going to be discarded. And that is why many people get discarded, many people's CV get discarded even before those hiring managers look at them, right? Because ATS have already automatically discarded them. And what people do is that whenever they are designing their CV, they forget about ATS. They ignore about ATS optimization. What is going to happen is that when you design your CV, you do not design it for keyword. What is going to happen is that ATS will not be able to filter your CV. Even if it filters your CV, you will not contain the appropriate keyword that is necessary for them to be able to look. And also, one of the biggest mistake that people do with this is that when they want to design their CV, they are going to take images and they convert that images into PDF and then they submit it to system. When you submit those kind of CV, ATS cannot scan those kind of CV, and when it cannot scan them, it is difficult for you to be able to get employed. You will scan and then in fact you will not be able to scan your CV, and that is how you are going to have some issues, right? So you have to be very, very careful. Most large organization companies use ATS to filter CV. If your CV isn't optimized, it may never even be seen by a human. So what do you have to do to be able to solve this problem? You have to use simple formatting, standard font, and avoid text in images or graphics. You have to use rule specific keyword naturally in your content. So do not take a picture, you convert it to a CV. You do not take a CV, you convert it into a PDF document, because you don't want to pay somebody to design a good CV for you, and when you do that, you are being shortlisted, right? You should use standard fonts that are visible, that someone can see, that ATS can actually easily scan through that. And then you should also avoid text in images, right? These are things that you do not want to do. And also use rule specific keyword. As I was explaining above, recruiters, whenever they want to use ATS, they have keyword that they have specified, and you should always make sure that you have those keywords in your CV. And how do you do that? By looking at the job description, seeing the keyword that they look, and then coming now into your experience and portraying those information in your CV. And when you do that, you are going to easily pass the ATS test, and that is how your CV is going to go to the next step, right? The third error that people do when designing their CV is that they focus on duties instead of achievement, right? So what they do is that they focus on duty, what they do in at their workplace, instead of achievement, instead of the result that they have gotten by doing those things, right? So listing job responsibilities instead of measurable result. They list when I was working as a DevOps engineer, I was containerizing application, I was using Kubernetes to be able to orchestrate those applications, but they do not prove measurable result that came as a result of the action that you did, right? Recruiters care about result, they don't care about responsibility. They care about what you do, the result, what you were able to achieve, what you were able to do that was able to boost their businesses, right? That is what they care about. So why does this hurt you? Recruiters already know what someone in your position does. They already know, you don't have to tell them. So they just want to see the impact. What were the impact of your action? How was the containerization and the orchestration that you did was able to improve your workflow, right? You can say by doing, like, for example, let me take this particular scenario. You can say, okay, I was using Docker to be able to containerize our application and orchestrate this application using Kubernetes, and as a result of this, we were able to have zero downtime deployment because of what I did with Kubernetes. This is going to touch them more than you just saying all those kind of things, all those kind of funny informations that you are going to prove. So what should you do? You should use the CAR method. What is the CAR method? We have challenge, action, and result. So you put a particular challenge that you will face at your organization. This is the challenge that we were having. We were spending a lot of money in our organization, running our servers, running our activities. So what did I do? I went forward to scan the various resources. I performed cost optimization by deleting or by shutting down the servers that we were not using, by also doing doing life cycle policy in S3. Maybe we're using S3 resources, putting our resources in S3 standard frequent access. But and after 30 days, these things were not really relevant to us. So what I actually do is that I did life cycle policy that after 30 days, data that are not frequently accessed in our S3 bucket will be shipped to maybe S3 Glacier, or maybe to infrequent access, or even to archive, depending on the kind of data and also depending on the access frequency, right? And as a result of this, we were able to reduce the amount of money that we pay per month by our cost by 50%. This is the achievement, right? This is the result. You had a particular challenge, you took a particular action, and it gave to a particular result. This is what recruiters like to see. Like, you quantify wherever possible, increase customer retention by 25% through strategic customer service, right? This is what you do. It's very important. So the fourth mistakes that DevOps and cloud engineer makes on their CV that cost them a lot is that they fail to align with the target roles. So they are including every job you've ever had, even if it is unrelated. So let's say you are a DevOps engineer or you are a cloud engineer. You have worked for 5 different jobs. We have worked for 5 different organizations, and after you've worked for these 5 different organizations, when you want to create your CV to apply for a particular job, you bring all those organizations and you put, maybe like this is maybe mostly, you can see this mostly with people that are coming from non-tech related background. Maybe you were, first of all, before coming into tech, what were you doing? You were a nurse, you was an accountant. And what are you going to do when you are creating your CV? What are you going to do? You are going to put your role as accountant that you occupied in previous organization in your CV, that you want to use it and apply for a DevOps role. What is actually going to happen is that whenever you do this, it's going to distract the employer from your core strength and also waters down your message, right? So what you have to do is that whenever you are creating your CV, prioritize relevant experience and show progression toward the role that you want. Even if you want to bring any experience that is unrelated, you should always make sure that that particular experience that you are putting is going to show progress, is going to is going to demonstrate your capabilities in order for you to be able to develop, or in order for you to be able to work in the organization where you are being recruited now, right? That role or that particular skill or experience should be a plus that is going to help you work excellently in your new role. But if not, always put out unrelated information. Always curate your CV like a tailored pitch, not an autobiography, right? Your CV should be like a pitch. You are pitching to a particular organization, you are pitching to the VCs about what you are doing. It should not be an autobiography, it should not be information about your life, right? So the fifth mistakes that DevOps and cloud engineer does, which is costing them, is that they are starting with an objective statement. So this is the mistake. They include a vague, outdated objective like seeking a challenging role where I can grow. And why does this actually hurt you? Employers care mostly about what you bring, the value you bring, and not what you want. So when they are working, like most of the information is about themselves. I can do this, I can do this, what they want, right? What they want, what they desire, not actually the value they can bring to the organization or to the person that is recruiting them, right? The employers care mostly about the value. So the information that you should be putting on your CV should always be about the value you can provide. That if I am in this organization, I can do this. I can help you reduce your cost by 50%, 90%, and all the rest. I can help you reduce your deployment time from maybe 1 minute to 1 second, even to provide you zero downtime deployment. These are the kind of thing that you can do. I can create a CI/CD pipeline that take less time to be able to complete. Maybe not a pipeline that is going to complete in 1 hour, right? All these things, these are the kind of information that recruiters want to see. They want to see the kind of value you can bring. You can say, okay, I am somebody that is creative, and as a result of this, I would easily, whenever I'm faced to a particular situation, or whenever I'll be faced to a particular difficulties in the organization, I will easily know how to think to be able to bring that kind of, to bring solution to that. I work under pressure. So if there is a deployment failure or any failure in the production, I will be able to work with that pressure and bring great result. So what do you have to do? Replace it with something that is professional, right? That is it. And the six errors that people do on their CV that cause them is poor grammar, spelling, or typos. A lot of people do this kind of mistake on their CV. They are going to submit a CV with errors in grammar, spelling, or punctuation. This is not, whenever you do this, is not good for you. It is not presentable, right? This shows carelessness and a lack of professionalism. It is an instant red flag to the employers. So what you have to do is that you should use tools like Grammarly and always proofread thoroughly. You use tools like Grammarly to be able to correct the various basic mistakes that you have, spelling, grammatical error that you have on your CV. All those punctuation is going to correct all those things. And even after Grammarly have worked to correct that, always proofread thoroughly, right? Proofread your CV thoroughly to make sure that there is no error on this. And better yet, have a professional review it. And that is where I come in. If you are somebody that you have a CV that you have difficulties creating a professional CV for yourself, I can help you do that. You just have to get to me through the email that is on that on the description, and we are going to work, right? I will help you professionalize your CV, right? And even if you cannot get an expert like me to be able to do that for you, what you have to do is that you have friends, right, that can also go through your CV. They scan for all the errors, the English error, and then they tell you, and then you are going to correct that, right? And the seventh error is writing in paragraphs instead of bullet point. So the mistake is that you use dense block of text that are hard to read quickly. Recruiters scan CVs in seconds, so big paragraph hide your best point. You should not be writing in paragraph. Write in bullet point. Use concise bullet point, 2 to 3 likes marks to highlight achievement, making them easy to skim through, right? You should not be writing things in paragraph that are all pack up in everything. It is going to make things difficult for recruiters to see. Your CV has to be presentable. Recruiters don't have to go through difficulty scanning through your CV. You have to make the reading or the getting of information on your CV as easy as possible to the recruiters. This is what is going to help you stand out, right? And then the eighth thing is including relevant or outdated information like listing hobbies, references, or just from 15 years ago that don't add value on your CV. All this takes up valuable space and distract from what matter, right? Forget about all this information. Concentrate on the past 10 to 12 years unless older experience is highly relevant. Concentrate on this on a particular short amount of time or short period of time, and then bring out valuable information within that time that you have worked that is going to help the recruiters to be able to attain their objective. And when you do all this information, when you do like this, you are going to provide information that are relevant, and then you are also going to easily get employed. Putting all kind of useless information that is not important is going to take valuable space. That's why you see somebody is going to have a CV with 12 page or 10 page, and all those things are useless, right? All those things are useless. You are giving stress to the recruiters for nothing. Focus on information that are relevant, and then you put those information in your CV, and then you are going to get a high pay, right? So leave out references. They are requested later if they are needed, and only include hobbies if they are directly relatable to the job or to the job you are applying, or this show leadership or teamwork, right? Like everything on your CV, you have to sell yourself. If you see that whatever thing information you put on your CV can help you to better sell yourself to the recruiters, put it. But if you see that they will not help you to better sell yourself, then better avoid it, right? And then the nine information or mistake people does when creating their CV is that they use unprofessional layout or design. Over designing with color, graphics, inconsistent formatting, or under designing with clutter, dull layout. These are mistakes that you do not have to do. Poor design signal lack of attention to detail and professionalism, and it may also hurt readability. Recruiters, when they are scanning your CV, they scan even your mind. They scan the kind, like only by looking at your CV, it can present to them the kind of person you are. Whether you are somebody that is really a reflective person, or you are somebody that is a careless person. Looking at the kind of information that is on your CV, people can already read you without seeing you, right? People can already read you without seeing you. So always make sure that everything on your CV is professional. Use a clean, modern, easy to navigate design with consistent font, spacing, and section headers. You should not be person that you are going to use paragraph 1 or bullet point 1, you are going to use Time New Roman, and then in the next one you are going to change the font, and then another one you are going to change the spacing. You are going to, in fact, all these things, everything to be well arranged. Section header, is it section for professional summary? You put it right so that they will know what they are looking for. Is this for your education? Put it, highlight all those information. Is this section maybe for your for the projects you are working on, or for the certifications, everything should have headers and make the layout scannable in 6 seconds. That's just like going through your CV. They will know everything that is there in 6 seconds, right? That is very important. And then the ninth or the 10th error that many people commit when designing their CV is undervaluing the CV as a career tool, right? Many people, or some people, treat their CV as a checklist document instead of a strategic personal marketing tool. Many people do not know the importance of a CV. A lot of people do not know the importance of their CV. They just they just see their CV as a must-have document, right? As a must-have document. They don't see it as a strategic marketing tool that they can use to be able to market themselves personally to recruiters. And as a result of that, they get everything wrong. Many people even knows the importance of CV, but they are not really, they don't know how to, they don't know the mind, they don't know the goal that recruiters are looking for, that they can actually put in their CV that is going to help them market themselves perfectly. And as a result of that, they give weak CV, which limit their opportunities. And as a result of that, even though they are good, even though they are perfect, even though they are highly talented, they are unable to get the jobs, they are unable to get the opportunities that they are looking for, because they don't know how to market themselves on their CV. And this is also where I come in. If you are somebody that you know you have the skills, you have the experience, you have the expertise, you have the talent, you know you have what is required for you to be able to deliver highly on whatever job you are applying for, but you don't know how to put those wealth of information into your CV, get to me and we are going to work, and I'm going to help you better position your information on your CV. This is what I have done with CV, with customers. There are people, they are going to come, they have their CV, they have the skills, they have they have like information, right? But they don't know how to put this. They are going to bring an empty CV. But when I will work with them, I'm going to get all those information from them, and when I get all those information from them, I'm going to present it on their CV. So if you are facing a similar situation, you just have to contact me through the email in the description, and we are going to work, right? This is very, very important. Your CV is your marketing tool. All the reason why we've been doing all the information, the mistake we've presented thus far, is to help you better market yourself. And if you are unable to do it on your CV, that means you have failed everything. A CV is a marketing tool, right? A CV is a marketing tool. That's why you are going to see people, they don't have the skill, they don't have the knowledge, they are not even that strategic or that knowledgeable, but they know how to sell themselves, they know how to position themselves, they know how to put the valuable or relevant information on their CV. And as a result of that, they get all the opportunities, and you are there, you can do maybe even 50 times better than them. You do not have any of those opportunities. If you feel you are the one, just get to me and we are going to work, and your light is going to shine, right? So what do you have to do? You have to invest time, or better yet, partner with a professional CV designer who can bring out your unique value, position you for your dream role, and give you a competitive edge. This is what you have to do. Like, there are some people, they are very good at the technical work, but they don't know how to do the marketing. Look for somebody that knows how to do the marketing, and then they are going to help you better position yourself, and you are going to win. Some people, they do not want to do this because they have to spend, and as a result of that, what do? They lost opportunity. Instead of spending $300 on your CV and get an opportunity that you are going to pay $120,000 per year as a DevOps engineer, you prefer to keep the $300 and lost $120,000 that you have to be getting per year as a pay, right? So what is the loss? That is a great loss for you, right? You don't want to do that. So you have to consider all this information, and when you consider them and put all this wealth of information together, you are going to get a better CV. If maybe you are somebody, you've gotten all this information but you don't know how to go about it, get to me through the email that is found in the description, and I'm going to help you and do everything for you, right? I'm going to help you. We are going to work together to be able to develop a very good CV for you that you are going to position and hopefully get good opportunities. If you found this video helpful, please do not forget to like the video and also subscribe to my channel, so that you are going to get more update and information about DevOps related information, and also cloud information. I will be bringing a wealth of information on DevOps, CI/CD, and a lot of things related to the cloud and DevOps domain, and also about career improvement, right? So thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video. See you in the next video. Nice day.